No problem. You asked me, am I ready? You ready? And I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm ready or not.
We're live, dear.
Okay. How's everybody doing tonight?
Jeez, oh man. 30 years. Jesus. All right. We're going to wait for a couple people to come on. Let me see. Make sure we are on. Ooh, let me turn. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. We are on. All right. My name is Lori Phillips,
My name is Luther Phillips.
and we've been married for almost 30 years. In October, it will be 30 years. And so we just come on to talk about um, our almost 30 years in marriage and what we have gone through. Just give you a little insight in marriage. This is something that we wanted to do some years ago and just never did, and felt like, this is the time. This is the right time. This is um, our marriage ministry. This is a ministry, and marriage is a ministry. Anytime you stay with someone who, anytime you stay with someone longer than a year, that's ministry. Um, yeah, that's ministry. So we just want to talk about our first year in marriage. Um, and so we hope you can get some kind of insight. I don't know if it'll be much help, but hopefully it will be. We'll kind of come from the perspective of honesty, transparency, um, humor. We're going to add a little humor to it, of course, because that's kind of who we are. And, just kind of go from there. So come on in, stop in, say hi to us, let us know where you're coming from, who you are. But again, like I said, my name is Lori Phillips, and this is,
Luther Phillips.
and we have been together for almost 30 years. So we want to talk about our very first year in marriage. Now, as we were talking about this and going over it, I had asked Luther, does he remember um, our first year? And you say, what?
I don't remember everything about it. I remember some of it, but
What do you remember about our first year of marriage? And then I'll
uh,
share what I remember about
well,
our first year.
yes, yes, you will. I guess I just remember us being married, um, the house that we lived in. Can't really recall too much more.
What? I can. Okay, give a little backstory leading up to our marriage. We were both, raised in the church, raised in Christian homes, and um, we weren't living a Christian life before we got together. So September 19th, 1994, I got saved. And Luther and I were already engaged. And so I told Luther, the things we were partaking in, um, we can no longer do because I'm saved now and I know what it is to live a saved Christian life. So I told him either we're going to get married or we're not. So, hey, Reggie. So we decided, okay, let's go ahead and get married. Again, we were already engaged. And so that was September 19th. October 22nd, we were married. Um, so leading up to that, it was, we weren't quite sure of how we wanted to get married, the ceremony, the this, the that, and all of it. So we went ahead and we got married. And we started living, we wouldn't live together. We wouldn't live together before we got married. That's what we didn't want to do. Because I was already in a previous relationship where I lived with a guy who was not my husband. I said I would never do that. The next man that I live with will be my husband, hence Luther. So um, that first year was rough. That first year, um, I wanted to leave him that first year. I remember a night specifically that, uh, and again, I was saved, Luther was not saved. So, hey, Allison, how are you? So we, not that he wasn't what they say, a good person or whatever, because he was, but again, he was not saved. And what our pastor at the time called us unequally yoked. We were unequally yoked. I, I at the time I didn't know what yoked was. So I'm like, okay. So Luther had gone out. I want to say it was. I want to say it was like a week after we had gotten married. He had gone out with some friends of his, um, downtown sharing the tellies or something. And when he got back, it was very late. It was, I want to say it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was drunk. Yep, I'm putting it out there. So, to my chagrin, I'm like, where the heck you been? What's going on? Why have you been out so late? So, so, so forth. But the killer was, what was the killer, babe? Tell them what the killer was.
I didn't have my wedding ring on.
Yes. When he came in, I noticed his wedding ring was not on. Oh, so that's what we're doing now. What'd you say as you noticed? So I want to say my first month, I'm going to give it a month. I don't even think it was a month. My husband, the one who said he loved me and would give just did all the vows, did all that thing, went out, came back in with no wedding ring on. So, hey, Apostle Lori, how are you? So to say the least, I was pissed, I was hurt. Do I believe that he, did anything? No, because if he did, I wouldn't even be with him today. For me, for some, I don't know, but I draw the line at infidelity, adultery. That cuts it. I can't do it. But I was hurt the fact that after all that we've gone through and been through and shared, you have the audacity to go out and take your wedding ring off. So of course, there was some tension for a while. I'm trying to get him to communicate to me why the fact you would even take your wedding ring off and da da da, and being the communicator that he is. What was your response? Do you remember?
Not exactly. Not really.
Can you even explain now why you took it off?
No, I can't.
I bet you. No, you can't. Or no, you won't.
No, I can't.
And like I said, we discussed this, earlier because I did let her know what we were going to, what I wanted to share. Because that first year in marriage, as she said, plead the fifth. That first year in marriage was rough. And kind of what the title of our podcast, or what we're going to call our podcast, is You, Me, and We. So taking me and him and bringing it together as a we is rough. It's rough for any couple, learning each other and growing and wanting to grow together, but it's rough. I don't know everything that he has to deal with and vice versa, or what he was bringing, so to speak, to the table, because we don't really get all deep into that. My sister had just got married a few months ago, and her and her fiance, or now husband, they went through marriage counseling. And for me, marriage counseling sessions, and I believe it brings some things out, but not everything. I told, Vicky, I don't care how many marriage sessions you have, it will not prepare you It will not prepare you for marriage, what you have to deal with, what you have to go through. Now you get some little insights of, we can get no insight. I don't know. Because we got married so fast anyway. But what do you think? Do you think if we'd had marriage counseling beforehand, you would have kept your wedding ring on?
Okay, now, okay.
I
Um,
wasn't.
it's marriage is tough, and I don't know if we, say if we would have got counseling, it doesn't. Well, I would say it doesn't really prepare you. Um, I mean, it might let you in like a little, you said, a little insight, but other than that, um, you just gotta, you know, come together and communicate, try to communicate,
That'll
and
be our next topic of conversation, communication. Now we have two women on here who said they absolutely agree 100%. Marriage counseling, those few sessions that you do before you get married, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nobody could tell me how he doesn't want to communicate or his lack of communication or when I want to sit down and have open dialogue. Um, bless you.
thank you.
That he just sometimes will just close up, just shut up and shut down. Marriage counseling doesn't prepare you for that. Um, they don't, Jenny. How can they really? How can they? Um, because when you go to marriage, you don't divulge everything. You don't share everything. You those hidden things that we deal with that only God knows about and you. Those don't come out of marriage counseling because you don't want to. I don't want to scare him away, or I don't want him to know those things. That stuff doesn't come out. Um, the slowfulness of somebody, or the lack of control of another person, or I mean, the person wanting to have control, and those things don't come out in a marriage. I mean, in marriage counseling, they come out in your marriage, but they don't come out to me in counseling. They come out when situations arise in your marriage, and then you begin to see the other person. Like, wait a minute. Oh, this how you handle what's going on? Um, life does it, your life. You're right, Janine. Your life, your marriage. It teaches that. Um, you're not, and sometimes you're not prepared for it. Some are just not prepared to withstand it. Now there are, and I'm gonna just be like I said, we're just going to be honest. Um, there are many, there were many times when I'm done with this. I'm done with this foolishness. He, he can kick rocks. I'm out. I'm out. But now I had counseling throughout throughout our marriage. Do you say no? No, they don't. They don't, Sharice. My counselor was my mother. Some of the women at the church. For women it's different because we open up and we'll share. Um, how do we do? What is going on? Can you help me fix this brother? Although we know now it's not really fixing him; it's fixing us and adjusting to. Um, and it took me a long time. Like it's still it's still taking me time. It took a long. What you shaking your head for?
I'm just moving my head.
I was the one that thought you were talking about me. Like I need to.
I didn't say anything. I just my head.
So I had my mother. Women in the church. There was a time when and I shared this story before. Um, hey Felicia. Oh, they go Fish, babe. How are you, Fish? Um, I went to my mom, and I just said, Mom, I just can't take it anymore. I'm sick of Luther. I've had it. He doesn't want to A, B, C, whatever, whatever. And I think, I'm gonna just take Ashley and, we're just gonna leave. We're gonna go somewhere. Woo! My mom said, huh, okay. She said, I don't know where you're going because you can't come over here. Of course, where else was I gonna go but go home to, my mom. She said, I don't know where you ain't coming over here. You need to stay home. You need to work on your marriage. And Laura, you need to work on you. It's not all Luther all the time. A lot of it is you. And sometimes you need that for somebody to really point out your flaws. Because I mean, y'all, I really got it together. I don't even know what she was talking about. It was all Luther. But she was like, no, Lori, no, you work on you. And mommy would say something. She said, Lori, your husband is the head of the household. I said, okay, Mom. She said, no, your husband is the head of the household. But as a woman, we are the neck that turns the head. So you set a standard in your household. You set the atmosphere in your household. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna try this thing. Um, and so our first year was for me. Our first year was rough. He didn't have any recollection of it. He a little drunk the first few years. Woo! But thank God for Jesus salvation. But yeah. Um, you got anything to add there? Yeah, speak to the
You
people.
drove me to
Tell them.
drink. No, I take that. I'm playing. I'm playing. No, she didn't. But it was, it was rough. Communication is a key. Sometimes I can
But do
communicate.
you communicate well?
I think I do. I do now, better than what I did before. Oh, same.
What? I was talking to the people. Hey, Vic.
You know, but I think I do now better. After some years in.
Hmm, Low back, low back. Hey, Fontaine. You hear this foolishness? Cause you know a little bit. You know a little bit about it. A little bit. What? I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's trying to be smart. He's trying to be
It's again. You know, like I said, sometimes you got to hit this with humor because if you don't, you end up crying. Like your feelings can get hurt by the least little thing. And hey, Ron. And yeah, sometimes you got to come at this with humor because my God, today. Um, hey, Ebony, you got to be open and transparent. I can't sit here and act like over the past almost 30 years that we have been perfect and we have been in love because we have not. There has been a many a day that I love my husband, but I don't like him. And he's known I've shared that with him. Bruh, today I ain't like you yesterday either. So when people say they married for love and all of that, man, and you grow into love. You grow into that. It's an infatuation, it's a lust, it's a whatever. But you grow into love over a period of years, over a period of time. We've gone through losing parents, losing children, losing jobs, homes. When you suffer loss and you suffer loss together, then your relationship begins to grow a little tighter. Because sometimes you look at each other and we're like, well, we all we got. We all we got. And now our children are grown and they have their families and husbands and children. We all we got. So yeah. Hey, Miss Jasmine. Yeah, this thing is rough. So we're not gonna keep you long. We just wanted to share a little insight about our first year of marriage. And there's more to come. We just wanted to just kind of put it out there that hey, Danielle. And we are going to be having guests now that Danielle had popped up. We're going to be having guests on our podcast. And of other married couples, and they will share some things that they might have gone through. We got a lot of married couples on the line here, and definitely we will be calling you and reaching out to you. Hey, Angela, because we're going to have you on as guest. We're not going to just do this thing by ourselves. We're going to um, together uh, promote a healthy marriage, what we've gone through, some of the mistakes, some of the wins, some of the losses, because there's some wins and losses in this marriage thing. You stay married this long, you're going to win and you're going to lose. But we thank God that we have more wins than we do losses. And, we have, I still have a lot to look forward to. We're not going to stop at 30. We're just going to keep on. We're just going to keep going, and by the grace of God and by the help of others. Like I said, we did do this by ourselves. I have a lot of people that I have looked up to in their marriage, some that I look down on. But you look at other people and you see what to do, what not to do. But it always looks like it might be working for them, but that doesn't mean it'll work for you or that it's even working for them. It just kind of looks like it. So when I post pictures of Luther and I, we're smiling and we're happy. I, I I need to find, but who takes pictures when you're sad and you're crying and you're upset and he's hurt your feelings? And who wants to post a picture like that? So sometimes you got to look behind the picture and see like this is real life. This real life. 30 years with this brother. I don't care how fine looking he is with all this gray he got going on. Woo wee. This brother is work. And I know I am too. I know I am. Thank God for what?
For you.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
Oh,
You got something else you want to add to? What Brother Law got to say? Yes, we're gonna keep moving forward. You got anything else you want to
no,
add?
I don't. I just want to thank everybody for stopping by this evening and stay tuned for the next segment.
Because there's gonna be more to come. All right, guys. Thanks again for stopping in, and we'll be coming on. Every Thursday. We're going to do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. And just kind of share some insight in our marriage, and even throughout the week, we'll be throwing stuff up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, posting different things about marriage and trying to help. Let's help each other together in this journey called marriage, because it's tough. It's tough. It really is, but it is a wonderful thing. God said, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, and he finds favor with the Lord. This brother is favored because of me. Y'all, this brother is favored because of me. Because of me. Find favor. But again, like I said, we coming at right from Shanice Diggett. Ladies out there, your husband is favored. They are favored by the Lord because of us. They were smart enough to find us. They were smart enough to find us. This brother came and found me. I wasn't looking for him. I was not looking for him. But God knows what we need. And sometimes we don't think we need it. This God, you made a mistake. You made it. Like Ron said, he's a genius. He's a genius.
Right,
He's a genius. Bruh.
that's right.
You can say you are a genius because you now have found favor with the Lord.
Yes.
As you all can see, he's not much of a conversationalist, unless now sometimes you get this brother talking about, oh, hey, Nene, how are you? Fontaine said, you look like you got something to say.
Not a time, Father Denise. We're going to have you and Mr. Green come down to the studio, so stay tuned.
Here, we're gonna be working on this. We'll be pulling some stuff out of them. We're gonna be pulling some stuff out of them because Ashley said she wait for you to tell it all. Me too, Ash. I wish you would tell something. Tell something. He's mighty quiet, Apostle Lord. He's mighty quiet. He's mighty quiet. Go ahead, Coco. Move.
Move.
So we're gonna see, like, and over time, God is really gonna be working on the both of us to really share what it is that God wants us to share and get out. We're all fun and humor, because like I said, that's what we do. But I mean, this thing is serious. It really is. But again, I thank you all for stopping on. I really enjoyed sharing with you guys, and we will see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. We might have a guest, we might not. We might keep it. It might just be us again next week, and then we'll bring on some guests. But I'm gonna get in touch with y'all, because I'm gonna put you on the calendar, and we're gonna be doing this. So, all right, here we go. Thank you guys. Have a good night. All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Hit the end stream, babe. The red button. There you go.